Alright, so that was an example of using some of these ideas, all out of that 6-string root pentatonic box scale. And let's go ahead and get into the next few licks here, starting with lick number 5. Lick number 5 starts out with a common blues motive. It's basically a bend on the 3rd string, followed by 2 notes, both played on the same fret, the 5th fret in this case. And generally we're going to roll over that notes. In this case, that's what we're doing. Sometimes it's played with the finger just barred and both notes played at the same time. In this case, we're rolling over them and then adding a couple notes from the scale. The next lick starts out with the same motive, but then goes down the scale. One thing to note in this lick is toward the end, you have a reverse rollover. That's where you're going from a high note to a lower note, or from a higher string to a lower string. That happens here in the lick. Right here, we're on the 5th fret of the 2nd string. You play on the flat part of the finger and hang some of the fingertip over on, or at least touching, the next string, so that you can roll onto it. This is much faster than actually trying to jump the finger over. Alright, lick number 7. Slow. Pretty common lick. Starts out with a roll over and reverse roll over, so you're going back and forth. Then we're bending on the top string, 8th fret. Now normally this note is played with the pinky, but we're going to substitute our bending finger, in this case the 3rd finger, for the pinky in order to get a good bend. Rarely will you bend with the pinky, although sometimes it's necessary, but you typically try to avoid it. So in this case we're going up, bending with the 3rd finger, and then continuing down the scale. Lick number 8. Another real common lick and a very common maneuver in lead guitar playing. It's a combo. You're actually bending the string up, bringing it back down. That's called a bend and release. Bend up, bring it down, pulling off to the 5th fret in this case, and then ending. What we actually have here is 3 notes all played from one pick. So we're picking the first note as we bend up, we release, pull, all with one pick movement. Alright, lick number 9. Lick number 9 starts with a bend that you hold, so you want to do your best to bend in pitch. Then it climbs down the scale. We've got a quarter bend on the next to the last note, and again a quarter bend is where you just barely bend the string. Just enough to warp the sound of the note. You're not even bending to any pitch. Well, at least you're falling short of a half step bend, which is usually the smallest bend that you will bend. So a quarter bend is in between the pitch of the note you're playing and the half step. It just gives the lick a cool sound.